We're talking about, of course, the idea that you've got a real problem with children seeking refugee status in this country because of the tremendous violence down in Central America. And here is Pastor Robert Jeffress telling us what Jesus would do when faced with these children unaccompanied by adults seeking refugee status in this country, escaping violence that we can barely comprehend. Here he is on Fox News.
But one prominent faith leader didn't get the invite, Pastor Robert Jeffress, because of his view of the Bible, says the law comes first. Pastor Jeffress joins us now. Pastor Jeffress, thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
You know, some have said that you're cold and callous and unchristian if you think these kids need to go back to where they came from. But at this point, I understand you think our border security is more important?
Can we stop for 1 second? Part of the reason why Jeffress probably didn't get invited to this summit of faith leaders near the border probably had something to do with the fact that he claimed that President Obama was preparing the U.S. for the Antichrist. That may also be part of it. Maybe not so much that his Christianity is
why does Obama take things so personally?
Unbelievable. You know who would not invite somebody to a group like this just because he was charged with preparing for the Antichrist? The guy who's preparing for the Antichrist. All right, go ahead.
Well, I think the most compassionate thing we can do for these children is to secure the border. You know, here in Texas, we have what we call the attractive nuisance laws. And it basically says if you're a homeowner with a swimming pool that doesn't have a fence around it and a neighborhood child wanders in and drowns, you're liable because you have enticed that child into a dangerous situation. The remedy is to build a fence, not only to protect yourself from a lawsuit, but to protect the child from danger.
So now we're being told that children who are escaping places where their parents have been murdered, places where they see murder on a daily basis or a weekly basis, where they are threatened by narco paramilitary drug cartels if they don't join their ranks. We're now saying that that is analogous to a kid playing in his yard and ostensibly going into the pool, which represents danger, as if the United States represents danger because it's a place where they will not be subject to such violence. I don't get that metaphor, but I'm sure that's not the worst thing about this, what Jeffress has to say.
And what we're doing by having these unsecured borders, we are enticing children and mothers to make this dangerous journey. Our Attorney General, Greg Abbott, was talking to me this weekend. He said that hundreds of these children and mothers are dying. Many are being raped, all because we have not secured our borders. So I think, yes, we want to show compassion to the children who are here, but the most compassionate thing we can do is secure the borders.
Sure. It is curious, Reverend, that you weren't invited, since you are, the leader of one of the largest congregations down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And Dallas-Fort Worth, they're about to release 2,000 of these children into the general population.
Well, and first of all,
those 2,000 kids, are they releasing them directly into swimming pools? Because now maybe what Jeffress had to say makes some semblance of sense.
I doubt I would be on the president's invitation list or even his Christmas card list because of some of the things I've said on Fox.
You have been
about
critical
his leadership.
about him, no doubt.
But look, this is not about partisan politics. Frankly, I don't care whether the president goes to the border. I want him to secure the border, and he has the ability to do that right now. You know, he said just a few weeks ago he doesn't need Congress. He has a pen and a phone. Well, it's time to use that and issue one of those executive orders to protect our borders and protect children in the process.
Pastor Jeffress, we had Attorney General Greg Abbott on our program a couple of weeks ago saying he was considering suing the federal government for the expenses incurred for medical care, for crime, for education. You said you just spoke with him. What new are you hearing from him?
Well, it is truly, he says, a humanitarian crisis. And I want to remind you, both Greg Abbott and Rick Perry are compassionate people. I don't know President Obama, but I know Governor Perry. And you'll remember it was his compassion toward illegal immigrants that got him in trouble with his own party when he was running for president in 2011. So he has compassion, but he also recognizes that the most compassionate thing we can do is secure our borders. And you know, if I could say this, because there are many Christians who watch Fox and Friends, and they're wondering what the right thing to do is. Yes, Jesus loved children, but he also respected law. He said, render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar. So we need to do both. Show compassion, but secure the borders.
Yeah, that's right. All right. And the kids are here now. We got to take care of them and figure out how to make sure that it doesn't become an even bigger crisis.
All right. So let me get this straight. The pastor who has apparently had multiple meetings with the Attorney General of Texas, with the governor of Texas, who is now calling on the president to issue an executive order, is telling Christians not to worry about these children because that should be left unto Caesar and they shouldn't get involved in politics. And we should just follow the law, which of course says that each one of these children should be getting an asylum hearing. I know. Even God himself couldn't make this guy make any sense, but still, I try. Unbelievable.